This is Bob Staunton, brother of Bob, and part-time bum fluff collector. I'm not recommending you subscribe to the Tommy Boyds Shrine YouTube channel. Why would you want exclusive rare audio? Push off, you jumped-up lefties. Don't subscribe. The following audio is from talk radio afternoon shows, suggesting we remove animals' teeth. I was bitten once by a cross between a Japanese Shih Tzu and a British Bulldog. It was a bull-shitter.
We've been expecting you, Mr. Boyd.
His is the worst voice you will ever hear.
Will he offer me his teeth?
The Tommy Boyds Show will teach you nothing. Nothing.
Always read the label.
But iniquity and wickedness.
You really bug me, then I'll say goodbye.
Good morning. The debate about dangerous dogs drones on. It'll probably be with us in 100 years' time. Those who believe that it is their right to be able to walk this box of meat on 4 stubby legs with a killing machine fixed on the front of its face around children's playgrounds, off its lead, and the rest of us who recognise that for the psychotic behaviour that it is, but still are unable to do anything about it. Now, you know that people who do karate have to register their hands as dangerous weapons, and I myself, when I trained as a samurai, was required to join the British Kendo Federation in order to entitle me to carry a samurai killing sword, an iaito, around the streets to the dojo in Twickenham. Well, I think we should go a stage further than that when it comes to dangerous dogs. There are those who think that we should register them. I think that what we should do is render them harmless by pulling their teeth. I really do. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Dogs shouldn't need their teeth. Done at birth, quickly, painlessly, a happy life for them, a trouble-free life for their owners, and a safe life for all the children in the neighbourhood. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Which gets us on to this afternoon's topic, which is this. You know, mankind is becoming kinder, aren't we? We're becoming more civilised. We are moving towards the age of Aquarius. We're becoming more enlightened. We're becoming more spiritual. The day will soon dawn when we look at the animal kingdom and Mother Nature herself and say, they're too cruel, it's too unkind, something must be done. Let's anticipate that day by having this conversation now. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Mother Nature is cruel. What are we going to do about it? What can we do about tornadoes and hurricanes and earthquakes and famines? We're getting better. We are improving. We're working on it. We would, if we could, unleash as much money and resources as possible towards the scientists who are seeking to eradicate famine, eradicate disease. But many diseases are caused by animals. Many diseases are caused by very small forms of animals, bacteria and viruses. The world celebrated when they got rid of the very last smallpox germ. But that was effectively culling an entire species. So the principle has been accepted. It's just a question of how far do we go. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Mother Nature and animals are cruel. They are vicious. I have a cat. The next cat we get is not only going to be neutered at birth, she is going to lose her teeth and her claws in the name of mice and sparrows everywhere. And ditto with dog's teeth. And I worry about wasps. And then there are snakes. There are poisonous spiders. We don't need them. They're killing people and they're frightening Australians every time they go to the loo. And as for sharks, one rests one's case. We don't need animals that do that. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Tim calls from Brighton. You're on Talk Radio. Tim?
Tommy, what on earth are you talking about, taking teeth out of animals' mouths? This is appalling. I mean, what are you trying to say?
Dogs don't need their teeth.
Of course they need their teeth. How are they supposed to eat?
Well, have you seen the state of dog food these days?
Yes.
Well, you can suck it.
You cannot suck
You can
dog
gum-
food, Tommy.
Yes, you
That's
can.
such utter rubbish.
It's like mince, man. You don't need your teeth to eat mince. That's why old people eat a lot of mince.
Dogs are carnivorous animals. They need to eat meat. We need teeth. What, we take our teeth out, do we? Someone punches someone in the street, we cut their fists off.
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Well, God, so that's your idea. That's your capital punishment.
No, that is your idea, and I was merely...
You just said that was a good idea.
Well, that was just to get the conversation going, get it out of the way. I don't want to dwell on that. What I want to dwell on is the fact that there are animals that can rip people's throats out walking the streets of Brighton this afternoon,
Oh,
Tim.
don't talk absolute
It's
rubbish.
perfectly
They have
true.
to take their teeth out
It's
to do that.
completely true. Take their teeth out. Yes, they don't need their
Of
teeth.
course they need their teeth.
They do not... Listen to me, pal. They
Okay,
don't
right.
need their teeth. Dogs do not need their teeth for anything.
They do, though. They're carnivorous animals. They have to eat with them.
Tim, you can eat dog food without your teeth.
Okay, so if you had a very big dog and the dog jumped up to you and like pinned you to the floor, so we have to take off the dog's paws?
Tim, you can
You're
eat
getting
dog...
really surreal, Tommy, now, just cutting off bits of dog and cat and stuff.
Tim, you can eat dog food without teeth.
Have you tried?
Tim, do you have a dog?
Yes, I have 3.
What do you feed them?
I feed them kind of a win-a-lot mix thing.
Yes.
Yes.
And what is that?
That's, I don't know, bits of biscuit, bits of meat, I guess.
Bits of, thank you.
Yes, and they have bones
How
as
small
well.
are those
and
bits?
And they have bones as well.
How
see, with
small?
their teeth.
How small are the bits?
Quite small.
How small?
Well, about 2 centimetres.
Smaller than an OXO cube.
Yes, smaller than an ox.
Well, I could swallow one of those
But the whole thing about taking teeth out of the dogs...
because they're dangerous animals,
Yeah, but that's
man.
not going to stop them, though, is it? That's ridiculous.
Have you trained your dogs?
Yes, my dogs are fine.
What qualifications do you have to train dogs?
I didn't. I took them to dog training centre.
Free call 0500 10 53 89. You see what I mean? The man is canine illiterate and he's got 3 dangerous animals walking around. And then there's cats. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
Time to poison the waterhole.
Cutting edge.
Tommy Boy.
You know, I don't want to bring this up, but you've been treating a lot of people with a lot of disrespect.
No, I'm just giving Mother Nature her just desserts because she's always talked of in hushed, sacred tones. And yes, there are butterflies and yes, there are sunsets. But what about hurricanes and alligators and what cats do? We can start by removing dogs' teeth at birth and cats' teeth and their claws. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Darren calls from Milton Keynes.
Hello, Tommy.
Hello, Darren.
You cannot take the teeth out of animals. Can you?
They don't need them. They don't want them.
But where are you going to put them once you've got them? Yeah? Where are you going to put all these teeth?
I suppose you could make a necklace out of them if that's what you're wondering. Do you do that sort of thing round your way?
No, we don't. We don't suffer from animals and bitings and all that all over the place.
No. Free call 0500 10 53 89. If you've ever owned a dog, you will know that half your trips to the vet, and that can be expensive. No, it's always expensive. Are because your dog's teeth have gone rotten. They do, don't they? Because of all the biscuits and whatever. And a dog with toothache, they can't tell you. You don't know the dog's got toothache until its breath gets appalling and then the thing's becoming quite snappy with you, which they do. Have your dog's teeth out. The dog will be happier for it. The dog will be more popular for it. And the dog will not run the risk that one day it may see a purple mist and tear somebody's throat out and have to be put down. It happens. It happens. Sakes. Jeff calls from Devon. Jeff, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, I would just like to say about dogs' teeth, that they are designed by nature to eat meat.
No, Jeff, not meat. Carcasses.
No, not necessarily.
Yes. Meat is a carcass which has been rendered down into bite-sized pieces, which is what dog food companies do.
Yes,
Yes.
if you buy tin food.
Well, that's what people do, or do you let yours free to roam and catch
No.
cows and things?
No. I'd rather feed it on its proper meat, like a bit of lamb.
Yes. You can cut it up for them.
No,
Why not?
because their bones are designed to eat it.
Their bones are designed to eat it.
Their teeth.
Your teeth?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to have dogs where you are?
Yeah.
You sure of that?
I've had it wherever I was.
Really?
I need to have it where I am now.
And what sort of a killing machine have you got at the moment?
It's not a killing machine.
Well, it is.
No.
It's carnivorous. You said so. You said it was designed to kill. You said that.
Yeah.
What's a killing machine then, man?
Yeah, it's designed to kill if I don't feed it.
And what sort of killing machine have you got?
It's half Labrador. Well, half. I don't know where it came from actually.
No.
But it's a canine machine.
A killing machine. Free call 0500 1053 89. Russell calls from Reigate. She's so cruel, Mother Nature. Why does she have cats do that?
Hello?
To their prey. Russell.
Oh, I hate cats. God, do I hate cats.
Yeah.
You know what I would do to cats? Not only would I declaw them and take their teeth out, I'd start their backside so they can't do their horrible little smelly things in people's gardens.
No.
And not only that, I'd give every sparrow a stun gun.
Yes.
So when this horrible mog goes up and creeps behind them, they go right in their eyes.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yes. 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 It's going to be difficult for us when we become such a kind species, because humanity is getting kinder all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, well, get rid of cats. Get rid of cats, I say.
Wow.
Put them on a Chinese restaurant menu.
We'll be so kind. Have you tasted cat?
I'll tell you what. Can you imagine it? Number 73, a cat. Boy, they'd be sold out. I'd eat it.
You would. You'd eat it and you'd rub people's noses in it, wouldn't you? You would love telling them round your way, right? Because I think you've probably got stacks of cats in Reigate, haven't you? It's a very catty place.
No, it's not, matey.
No?
We've got lots of retrievers that tend to like cats.
Excellent.
That's the type of dog we have, you see. First thing we do, teach them not to sit or cat. First word, cat. That's all we do.
You know, I'm wondering whether people who own cats and dogs are potentially mentally unstable.
I probably am.
No, not you. People who own cats and dogs.
I've got 2 dogs, but not cats.
Have they got their teeth?
They have their teeth. But these are retrievers. They wouldn't. They're scared of their own shadow. I mean, if a burglar broke into our house, he'd probably get a biscuit.
Yeah, when you say that. You say that, but you don't know, do you? And what's good for the goose is good for the retriever. What do your dogs need those horrible teeth for?
Well, I tell you, our dogs could swallow a cow whole. They don't even chew it, so they don't need teeth. Good point.
Thank you. Free call 0500 1053 89. I'll tell you how dangerous a dog's mouth is. Most dogs have a particular soft part of their palate, right, which is scarce of nerve endings, that they can fold around their teeth to render their teeth virtually harmless. And they use that when they pick up their young or nuzzle their partner when they're making small dogs, okay? And occasionally they wrap it around their teeth when they're giving their owner an affectionate nuzzle, all right? Nature's allowed them to do that. That's how dangerous a dog's teeth are. But not cats. Been bitten by a cat, they hang on. And cat's claws. Been scratched by a cat? Of course you have. What germs did you pick up there? We will reach a point as a species when we will look at Mother Nature and look at the animal kingdom and say, I'm sorry, enough's enough. Come with us to a higher plane. Don't do that to birds. Don't do that to mice. Don't do that to small children. Free call 0500 1053 89. Supposing we got rid of all the sharks in the ocean. That wouldn't actually matter. It would only matter to the makers of television documentaries, of which there are far too many. Let's talk to Mick, who calls from Maidstone. Mick, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Hello, Tommy. I don't think it's so much the animals that need their teeth pulling out. It's more like vets and your previous caller there, because the vets for the bills they charge, and that other person who just spoke about the cruelty that he's sort of instigating his so-called sort of passive retrievers to do. I work in the mental health field, and we've got some empty beds at the moment, and I wonder whether you would sort of volunteer for one, because I do think you're beginning to lose it a bit, Tommy. I'm sorry to tell you this, old chap, but I really do think you're advocating people riding along the bike.
Have you got a constructive argument, or have you just come on here to slag us off? And I bet you
I'm speaking up for the animals.
You only push a trolley. You only push a trolley with sweets on it. You're not a doctor.
I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Well, don't you go round... Well, I am. I'm a psychiatrist. And don't you go round diagnosing people as being mentally unwell?
The nearest you've been to a cat's, Tommy, is probably in the furniture shop. What are you talking about, a psychiatrist?
You know perfectly well that is the oldest joke in the mental health catalogue, and it's not a very good one.
What do you mean? I've just made it up.
I've got some much better ones than that.
No way.
I certainly have.
Listen, leave the poor animals alone.
Right, well, if you're into mental health, then stay where you are. Callers will come on the programme and you can diagnose them, all right? No, that's great. We've got an expert. On the line. We've got an expert on line 1. Mick in Maidstone. He works in mental health. If you'd like to call us and discuss Mother Nature and what we're going to do about her cruelty, be warned, a psychiatrist is going to offer a diagnosis of your mental profile. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Talk Radio.
Picture yourself at the foot of the... Tommy's just bought Harry Carpenter a stair lift.
Yes, they're very big, but a bit juicy price-wise. Free call 0500 10 53 89. We're discussing the cruelty of Mother Nature and wondering how long it will be before we get round to drawing dogs' teeth, and cats, for that matter, and their claws, and getting rid of poisonous snakes. Free call 0500 10 53 89. And we have Mick in Maidstone on the spare line, who works in mental health. And he's going to prove it by diagnosing a succession of callers, sane or insane. Jerry calls from Sussex. Jerry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tom. Tom, you got it wrong again, haven't you? You haven't got a clue about dogs, have you, at all? I mean, I breed dogs, and what you on about? I mean, like, you've got to take their teeth out the moment they're born. They're a bit difficult, haven't they? And when they have their first set of teeth, you've got some more come through. So what are you going to do? Give them another operation, take them out as well?
Dogs only have one set of teeth. It's a well-known fact.
No.
Yes,
I breed dogs, Tom.
Yeah.
Get real. Get real.
I was working with dogs long before you were born.
You probably were, you're a lot older than me, but the fact is, I mean, like you're saying dogs are vicious. My dogs aren't vicious, even though they look vicious, admittedly.
All of your dogs are potentially vicious.
No, they're not.
Yeah, no, sorry. Excuse me.
Rubbish.
You can't argue with that.
Oh,
I could take you to court. I could clean you out if you're going to say that you could defend the notion that all dogs are potentially vicious.
I could defend my dogs.
No, your dogs are potentially vicious. If you don't understand that, you're either stupid or insane.
No, you're not stupid. Perhaps this bloke Mick can help you out, honestly.
Look, Mick, Jerry,
yeah?
you are potentially vicious.
Is that right?
Of course you are.
Why is that then?
Because everybody's potentially vicious. It depends on the circumstance.
Not necessarily.
Well,
you haven't got an argument, Tom. Admit it. You haven't got an argument, mate. Have you? Admit it.
And I think we're going to have to bring... Mick, you work in mental health. Is Jerry insane or just very, very stupid?
No, I think he's got a condition called lover-duckers.
What does that mean?
Well, he loves the ducks. He loves everything. There's no harm in that. I'd put him on the perfectly sane list.
Yeah, sane, but you're not very clever, Jerry.
It's called lover-duckers.
Yeah.
You love nothing apart from yourself.
Well, no sort of... no perception in it. No wonder you're happier with dogs.
Well,
are they stupid dogs you breed?
Oh, it depends, mate. I wouldn't call them stupid.
Which dog? What breed is it you specialise in?
British Bulldogs.
No, you're winding me up. Nobody breeds British Bulldogs.
Well, I got 4 of them, Tom.
That shouldn't be allowed.
Why shouldn't it be allowed?
Because they are killing machines.
No. If you go back, they started off in the 6th century.
What does anybody want a dog like that for? They're hideous.
They're not hideous,
They show their teeth in repose.
They're fine. There's nothing wrong with them at all.
They show their teeth in repose.
So what?
So that's a statement of intent.
Oh, no, you just go back and check your facts that you'll find a bulldog has never, ever bitten anywhere. They don't attack people. They used to be in the
Where do I check that?
Exactly.
No, where do I check that?
Well, you go to libraries, places like that, yeah.
And what do I look up under bulldog attacks? Nil.
Maybe you should look on the vicious animals. I'm sure you won't find any British bulldogs there, Tom.
What about cats, Jerry? We've got to get their claws off them. You've got to get their claws off them and their teeth.
I'll agree with you on that one, admittedly.
There you are. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Malcolm calls from Southend. Malcolm, you're on Talk Radio. Thank you for calling. Malcolm, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Yes, you could have your dog fitted with some false teeth in this day and age, surely. And while it's eating its dinner, have the false teeth in, and when you take it out for a walk, take its false teeth out and leave them in a glass at home.
I'm sure that there are people in California who've got their dogs fitted with rubber teeth.
Well, false teeth, so that he can eat his dinner, all right?
No, that'd be dangerous, wouldn't it?
Why?
Well, because false teeth could probably do as much damage as real ones, or nearly.
Yeah, but if you're going out in the street with your dog or over the park, you take them out.
Do you know what's really stupid? You get some old men who whose faces are very clearly 80 years old, but their teeth are very clearly 8 weeks old and made of porcelain. And I think that if you're going to have a set of false... It's like a wig. If you're going to have a set of false teeth made, they ought to look like the false teeth that your teeth would look like if you'd been able to keep them down the years. Do you know what I'm saying?
No. People were phoning in arguing with you about the dogs wouldn't be able to eat their food without some teeth.
Yeah, no, I just digressed there. That happens in conversations. Thank you for your call. John's in Somerset. John, you're on Talk Radio. Hello.
Hiya, mate, all right? Well, basically, why not humans? Why just, well, how do you put it? Carnivorous animals. Why not humans, such as in, i.e. crime, that type of thing? You know, someone steals something, chop their hands off. They will do it again then, will they?
I'd rather put that to one side for a second, because I tend to believe that humanity is improving, becoming more spiritual.
Yeah, but how can you say that when we're still at war? There's a war going on in this world now.
I'm not having this argument which proves that humanity is better than it was. If you'd like to spool back 5,000 years, do a little bit of history, do a little bit of study, John, you would discover just how vile and repulsive people were not that long ago. And we've mended our ways, and we're mending our ways, and we're moving on, and we're moving upwards. And dull, stupid arguments like there's always a war going on. And by the way, there isn't a war going on at the moment.
There isn't?
No.
There's not one going on in this minute, you don't think?
No.
No?
No.
Well, we'll beg to differ on that one.
Go on, then.
Well, basically, what I'm trying to say...
No, where's your war?
Where's my war?
Where's your war?
All right, well, I'll give you a ring tonight and I'll find out where it is.
You can't think of a war? You come on the radio and you say there's a war going on somewhere all the time, and then you can't think of one?
Yeah, but there's a civil war going on. They're guaranteed, man.
Well, so you're betting me that there's a civil war going on somewhere,
I'm
but
betting
you
there's
can't...
a war going on in this world somewhere now.
Where?
I don't know, but now I guarantee there is one going on.
Free call 0500 1053 89 if anybody can think of a war.
All right, and also...
Look at Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Look at Southern Africa.
But you say like we're
Listen to me.
more
Look at Beirut.
Well, there's a war going on now in Northern Ireland, isn't there? Well, we just got a peace truce. Yeah, we're at a truce now. But it wasn't long ago. There was a war between us and them, basically.
So they're getting better?
Not as in war, as in guns coming out every day.
Shut up.
On the front line.
So things have improved there?
Improved now, yeah. They're not running the world.
Not anymore. They don't do that anymore in Saudi Arabia.
Do.
No, they don't. When was the last time they did?
You might not know about it, but they do.
Oh, I know.
I know people that live in Saudi now, and they still do that.
You know somebody who lives in Saudi Arabia?
I know lots of people that live in Saudi.
Yeah, they do still do some horrible things in some other parts of the world.
They do a lot of horrible things like that.
But they used to. But shut up. They used to do it all over the place.
Right.
But they don't.
They don't.
Why not?
But instead.
Why not?
Instead now, they go and grab some young girl from the middle of a nightclub and kill her. How can you call that humanity? That's not humanity. That bloke's an animal. That bloke should be put down. That bloke should have his teeth extracted, the same as the dog.
What sort of history reading have you done? Have you done much social history?
Have I done much?
Yeah.
Well, since I'm only 24, I haven't done much.
So you don't really know much about history?
In what context?
Any you like.
Well, are you talking about the Battle of Waterloo or something? No, I don't. I just know.
Well, what sort of history do you know about then?
Well, what sort of history do you know about?
So you don't know anything about history, but you are confident to come to the radio and tell us
you
that...
haven't answered my question.
And if I may, you don't know much about history. In fact, you don't know anything about history, and yet you come to the radio to tell us that, historically speaking, mankind is not improving.
Well, it isn't. How can that be? It's improving, though.
Because I'm a historian.
When violent crime is on the increase...
It's not.
You think it's... Well, what was the...
No, it's not. It's not.
The other day.
Which paper? You're making stuff up. You're an alarmist.
Right,
and you're a very
Britain was more violent than America.
You're a very nervous young man. Well, you believe things like that. You want to believe things like that. It's not true.
I don't necessarily believe things like that, but when you hear about There's hundreds of things you don't hear about every day, stabbings, things like that, which is trivia to be on the news, right? But they still go on.
That's simply not true. Are you in the news? Then? Do you work in the media? Do you work in the media?
No, I don't.
Well, what makes you think you know more about the media than I do?
I didn't say I did. Did I? You hear me say I know more about the media than you?
That's exactly what you said. You were telling me how the media works.
No, I was saying that is too trivial. So you're saying that if a bloke gets stabbed down my local pub tonight, it'll be in the national newspapers tomorrow morning.
It'll be all over the bloody shop, man.
It would not.
It'll be all over the bloody shop.
Don't be silly.
Right, okay, let me quote you from the second item on the BBC South Today News on BBC Breakfast Time, okay?
Yeah.
Here was the second story. Police in Southampton are calling in a psychologist.
I better go. Sorry.
Oh, bye. I better go. It's Mickey Mason. Yeah, it's Mickey Mason. He was there to try and work out whether you're sane or not, but I think we know the answer to that one.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Here was the news story, right?
Yeah.
Police in Southampton have called in a psychologist to try and help them develop a profile of a man who may have committed up to 3 sexual attacks in the area over the last 12 months. The last one of which took place some months ago in a park. And I'm not going to repeat the details, even though it was on breakfast TV.
Yeah.
Right? There was no news peg for that. But what that story had was sex, and it had violence. And it wasn't even a story. And that was on the television.
Right. So you're saying... So 10 years ago, right? Now, I'm 24, right? So 10 years ago, I was 14, right? Now, as far as I'm concerned, at 14, I didn't hear about things like that.
As far as you're concerned, is no argument. Is no argument at all. What I'm here to tell you is that the media and the way they play on every salacious event that takes place in this country, and as far as they're concerned, let me tell you, there aren't enough of them, is turning people like you into worry buckets because you think it's on the increase.
But I'm not worried about it. My point is that why are animals suddenly been pinpointed? We are in the same category as animals.
No, we're not.
No,
we're not. You don't know anything about animals. All right. So you don't know anything about...
Don't we?
You don't know anything about history, and you don't know anything about the media, and you don't know anything about animals. But you're prepared to pontificate on all 3 subjects. You're a case, you are.
Yeah, but what do you mean by I don't know anything about them?
What do you know about animals?
Well, what do you mean they're animals? That's a cat,
is
that's
it?
a dog, that's a cat, that's a dog,
bet you
that's
don't
a
even know
carrot.
what button the Discovery Channel's on, do you? In fact, I bet you don't even know...
Sorry, my friend. I haven't even got a TV. TV is basically rubbish, as far as I can say, but that's not a point to get on to now anyway.
No, it certainly isn't. I've enjoyed talking to you. I've learned a great deal about the media and history and the nature of the animal kingdom from you. You're a real font of... No, you're dead right, actually. I haven't, and nor have any of us. What an absolute joy to behold. People don't usually get as pig ignorant as that until they're about 50. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Here's Anne calling from Belfast. Anne, you're on Talk Radio. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy. Hello.
Hello.
Tommy, what I'd like to say is your show is wonderful and it really gets people's blood up.
Thank you for the call, Anne. I appreciate your comments.
But I'd also like to ask you, how many people here have been killed by animals, or how many have been killed by human beings?
Well, I can answer that question because nobody here has
Well,
been
you
killed
seem
by
to know all the other answers to everything. You seem to be
I
a
know the answer to this
psychologist, a
question.
psychiatrist,
You
a
asked the question, how many
sociologist.
people here have been killed by animals? And the answer I can tell you categorically is nil.
Well, why are you so against animals then?
Well, because everybody who has been killed by an animal is not here, ergo.
Would you repeat that, Tommy? That seems insane.
No, I couldn't possibly be more saying if you have been killed by an animal, you are not here.
Well, if you've been killed by a human being, if you've been shot in the head...
Equally absent.
Equally absent. So
Equally
who's
not
going
here.
to speak for those people then?
Me.
Well, let's hear you speak for those people.
Have the dog's teeth out.
Well...
And as for sharks...
Tommy...
Have you ever heard of the funnel web spider? Do you know what it does?
Tommy,
It nests on the underside of the toilet
Well, have
seat.
you heard of killings here? And do you know what that does?
Oh, someone from Belfast. Taken over 2 minutes to mention the troubles. We're discussing animals, woman.
Tommy, you were the first one to mention them.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
About 5 minutes ago.
No, I mentioned peace in Northern Ireland, not the Troubles.
No.
Yes,
you
yes,
mentioned a war in Northern Ireland.
No, I said Northern Ireland. I didn't mention the war in Northern Ireland. This is your trouble, you lot. You've got a bee in your bonnet. If Northern Ireland is mentioned, quick, let's phone up and talk about the Troubles.
Well,
we're talking about dogs. You've got dogs in Northern Ireland,
let's go about the Troubles in Northern Ireland. How many people have been killed by other humans in Great Britain or all over the world as compared to dogs or cats?
How many mice have been killed by cats?
Tommy?
I bet you...
Was your brother a mouse?
Listen to me. Yes. Listen to me. I bet you more mice have been torn to pieces and cruelly tormented in their death gurgles by cats.
So
this week, than ever there have been people killed by other people in this country, period. I bet you. Are you dead in the water? Is your argument over?
Absolutely, Tommy. I can't argue with lunacy.
Lunacy.
Absolutely.
Lunacy.
But your show is good.
Sorry the Troubles have ended for you, by the way. You're going to have to find something else to talk about.
You're going to have to find family whose son was killed last weekend.
You're going to have to find something else to talk about, aren't you, Anne?
No, I think you're going to have to find something else to talk about.
I want to talk about animals.
Well, I find animals are a bit more truthful than human beings.
Really? What's the most true thing your cat's ever said to you, then?
The most true thing my cat's ever said to me, I want fed.
To be fed?
To be fed. I want fed and I want out.
Yeah. She wants to get out?
Exactly.
Well, she's not stupid. Free call 0500 1053 89. We're discussing Mother Nature as humanity moves onwards and upwards to a higher plane, a more spiritual, loving place. We're going to start taking a long, cold, hard look at some of the things that Mother Nature does. We've asked our scientists if they can intervene with all the hurricanes and famines around planet Earth. But what about the animals? A lot of people won't have cats because of what they do to birds and mice. And a lot of people are very worried about some of the young men who walk around with those boxes of meat with legs on all four corners.
Yeah, let's play a vocal. Travis, right here on Earth. We are the other people. We are the other people. Futurism. A load of crap. Tommy Boyd. Tommy Boyd.
Do you think that I'm crazy?
No shoes, no shirts, no service. Yes, working my controls.
Tommy Boyd. It won't be a civilized world until we've got animals and Mother Nature behaving in a civilized way. Jack calls from Cardiff. Hello, Jack.
Hey, what's up, man? Well, what can I say? You're wrong.
Powerful stuff, Jack.
Hello?
Let me pause for a breather here. Oof. Water, Jack's at me.
Yeah, that's right. I'm at you now.
Where's the argument?
Well, look, you play with fire, you get burnt, yeah? You provoke an animal, it'll attack you, yeah? It's going to fight back. What are you... We can't control it.
How do mice provoke cats? What do they do? Go up to them and go...
It's in a cat's nature to hunt, isn't it?
No, that's a different argument. You said that if you provoke an animal, it'll attack you.
Yeah, well, you're talking about, like, old brats getting, like, chewed up by dogs, aren't you? If the brat throws a stone at the dog, it's going to get a bit, upset about that and do something about it.
You're too good for me, Jack. I'm going to bring Andy into the argument in Luton. Andy, what have you got to say to Jack?
Hello, Jack.
All right, man?
You prefer animals to people, yeah?
No, I don't.
Then what are you saying?
Well, like, Tommy's on about dogs getting their teeth ripped out, yeah, because they're attacking...
No, what Tommy's going on about is nature and nature's cruelty and how we as a human people have tried to evolve past it. That's why we don't live in caves anymore. That's why we don't live in the jungle. We live in houses. We have fires. We have medicines. We have books. We learn. We're trying to evolve past nature because nature is cruel.
Yeah, but we can't control nature. There's no way...
Yeah, we control our own nature, though, can't we?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're trying to evolve past it so we can become better than animals. We don't want to be animals, do we?
No.
Well, then what are you saying to Tommy?
I'm just saying that you can't do that to an animal. It's not right. They were given teeth. We were given teeth.
What would we do with dogs if we didn't have them as pets?
I don't know.
Well, we wouldn't have them, would we?
No.
Well, so they're better off with rubber teeth than not existing, aren't they?
No. What's the point of not having teeth?
Well, then we won't have them. If they're going to go around biting children, there's no point in having them. You wouldn't have them in your house if they're going to bite children, would you?
Well, if the kids don't provoke them, they won't get bitten, will they?
How are kids provoking dogs?
I've seen kids where I live throwing stones at dogs.
I don't see any kids throwing stones at dogs any time. I've never seen that.
Where do you live, man?
I live in Luton, mate.
Luton?
Aye.
Oh, well, I live
And we have plenty of dogs, and no kids go around throwing stones at them, because you don't see dogs wandering about anymore, because they have to be on leads, don't they?
Yeah.
So where are all these kids throwing stones?
So all the people who walk the dogs, yeah? Their dogs aren't going to go biting kids, are they? Because they're probably, well looked after, domesticated, aren't they?
So what happens with these kids that get their faces ripped off every now and again?
Well, a friend of mine got his nose bitten off, but that's because he provoked the dog. He admits it's his own fault, and the dog was put down. It happens.
But if the dog had rubber teeth, it wouldn't have bit the bloke's nose off, and it wouldn't have had to be put down, would it?
Exactly. There would be a dog alive and happy, gumming its winner lot, and your friend Jack wouldn't be so funny looking. Now, come on, Jack, you can see this one.
Oh, shut, man.
You can see this one.
Don't be rude, Jack. We're just trying to evolve past our animal nature. We're trying to be better than animals.
And he's painted
we
you
can't
into a
play
corner.
God. Simple as that. I mean, cloning. Cloning, what's all that about?
Wait a minute, if I may, Andy. Jack?
Yeah?
We neuter animals.
Yeah?
Are you again that?
Well,
what would you
would
you rather have? Rubber teeth or no testicles?
No testicles. So you don't have little unwanted puppies on a thing.
Man, you want to get yourself some balls.
Andy, thank you.
Bye.
Andy, it was a masterclass. Free call 0500 10 53 89. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. There's a good argument for listening.
What I want to know is he... Tommy Boyd Show. 10:53, 10:89 a.m. Talk Radio.
As humanity finds more humanity, the day will dawn when we take a careful look at how animals behave to each other and to humans and begin to intervene. Starting surely with cats. Why do they do that? And why do foxes need to kill the entire coop and sometimes never even take one chicken for their young? And, well, what do you need sharks for? Free call 0500 10 53 89. Richard calls from the West Midlands. Richard, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tommy. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
Very well, thank you. May I ask you a question, please?
Yes.
Right. You're talking about animals who hunt for food. What would you do with a species that hunts for sport? Bearing in mind you're so up on these things.
Does all of the species hunt for sport?
No, I'm talking about one in particular.
And does every member of this species hunt for sport?
A lot of them do.
Not all of them?
No, not all of them.
What sort of percentage of them do this?
Oh, I would say it's in the region of about 15 to 20%.
Well, that's not many, is it, really? I wouldn't bother about them, really. And that percentage is probably being reduced.
You reckon?
Clearly.
That's good.
It is, isn't it?
But you're still saying you would actually...
You're talking about mankind, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Pathetic argument.
No, not really.
Totally.
Because if you're putting that... If you're going to argue that point, then what right... Until we've sorted that out, what right do we have to dictate to animals?
No, you don't do things... Animals? You don't do things one at a time. You can sometimes do... I can, anyway, do two things at once.
Very true. Very true.
We'll deal with people who hunt for sport at the same time as we deal with animals who hunt for sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, you won't find any animals that hunt for sport, really, because the fundamental instinct is to hunt for food.
Well, why do foxes not take all their chickens, then? In fact, why do they sometimes not take any?
All right, that one...
Shall I come back to you on that one?
I'll concede that one,
Yeah.
Do you have an answer?
Why don't cats eat the mice?
Because 9 times out of 10, a cat will bring the mouse home for you because it is a way of saying it loves you. It brings its kill home for the family. Next.
Charming.
How could you? Come on.
Charming. We don't want that. They shouldn't be doing that. It's unkind. I care about mice.
Correct. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. What I'm saying is that how do you change the base instinct of an animal?
You don't. You take their teeth out and then they can't follow their base instinct. Have you ever been in a cage with a lion?
No, but I've been in a pound with 4 Rottweilers.
Why?
Basically, because the dogs got out of their pen by accident.
Yeah. Nah, go away. Free call 0500 10 53 89. Poor bloke. Saw him coming a mile away. Barry calls from Essex. Barry, hello.
Hello, Tom. Here's the idea. You work out an ascending scale of cruelty times possible danger, and from that you deduce what you amputate from the animal. Starting off with a paw, perhaps on a rabbit, going up to diagonally opposed legs on a Jack Russell or a cat. So you take the front left and the rear right. Can't jump up, can't catch anything, no danger.
Very well thought out. Yes, go on.
Poisonous snakes.
Yes.
Drain off the venom.
Yes.
Fill the sack with alcohol. If it bites a person, you've got a little bit of it won't poison anyone, and you've got a little bit of a treat in store. If it bites an animal, it will slow it down enough for it to, it'll anaesthetise it a bit, and then they can still get their dinner.
I'm with you all the way.
Yeah? It'll also give trainee doctors something to learn on, going around amputating all these paws, tails, legs. Give them something to do, other than hanging about in A&E.
Very good thought.
I can't see anything wrong with the idea myself.
Well, I'm very grateful to you, Barry. Thank you. Put an awful lot of thought into your call. I only wish more callers would do the same. Thank you.
You're very kind.
What a nice man. Free call 0500 10 53 89. You want Peter Dealey? He's next. I'm with you from 3 tomorrow. I'm Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio. Tommy Boyd. This is Talk Radio.
This is definitely not Bob putting a funny voice on. Click like and subscribe to the Tommy Boyd Shrine YouTube channel, and we may get more Bob Staunton. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am going to stick laxatives in Tommy Boyd's coffee. If he won't call it quits, I'll make him strain with the squits.